Right, Sean K, aka Sean K, what happened in the last episode of Queen Charlotte?
So I'm trying to piece together all the pieces. They weren't talking, were they?
Nope.
They were back to being, you know, very like confronty. They had this thing where they said they would only really interact with each other on even days. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't interact. They would mate on even days.
Well, I was trying to put it more, you know, but you know, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that. And that went on for a very long time. But she, despite what she was telling herself and she was telling Lady Danbury, she did care for him.
She fancied the pants off him.
Yeah, but she also cared about him. She was also intrigued at the fact that he was farming himself with his own hands as a king.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she obviously does really like him and really care for him.
His hands on block.
I know. I don't blame her. I'm not saying that. What else? Lady Danbury.
She hosted the first ball.
The first ball of the season. But people weren't going to go because there's still obviously some like negative opinions
And trepidation.
Yeah, on yeah.
The Great Experiment.
The Great Experiment. That's such a horrible name. Yeah. So the Lady Danbury went to the Queen and asked, you know, because the Queen isn't really doing anything, but if she was to like involve herself, then people would listen.
Yep.
They would have like no choice but to listen.
Yep.
And she could be doing more to help.
Yep.
And so she did.
Yep.
Not only did the Queen go, but she also convinced George to go as well.
Yep.
And it was really sweet. Really, they had a really nice time at the ball. Lady Danbury, her husband, perished.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That's one way for it, yeah.
He died, and they were obviously very happy, and they had to make out as if it was this horrible like thing.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was a bit relieved.
Yeah.
As horrible as that is to say.
He was annoying.
Yeah, he wasn't very nice to Lady Danbury, was he? And it ended with George kind of having this outburst, I guess.
Breakdown.
Yeah. Something happened. We don't quite know what it is. They haven't really explained yet, but something's going on in his head. Some kind of maybe mental illness. And he was just, you know, all over the place.
Yeah.
He was trying to talk to Venus, and Charlotte managed to kind of
coerce him back.
Get him back, yeah.
Yeah.
But now she understands why he had to see the doctor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of that time. Then the kind of the present Bridgerton time. We found out that Violet Bridgerton, it was her husband's, Edmund's, birthday, and she was really upset, and Lady Danbury had kind of said, you know, it's, you know, at least you had love, at least that's what you had, because I didn't have that.
She didn't despise her husband like she did.
And she's very lucky to have had that, even though he's no longer with her. She's still very lucky.
Yeah.
We did see some young Violet as well.
Yep.
And she's very, you know,
Eloise.
very Eloise, yeah, which is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very much just on the side of, like, Lady Danbury and everyone. She's just
already.
Yeah, her mother's the worst, I think it's safe to say, but we like the dad.
Yeah.
We like her dad.
The dad was the reason everyone started mingling. Because
Yeah.
he went up and asked Lady Danbury to dance.
He's really sweet, yeah.
And they all frolicked. They all frolicked together.
It was, yeah. It's very different from what we've seen in, like, Bridget in terms of the dancing.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is episode 4. 3 episodes left. Let's watch. Someone's in the bath.
Lady Danbury. She's the only person we've seen. Ah, no, that's not true. We have seen others on the bath.
Yeah, we saw the king and queen in the bath, but they were mating at the time.
What is this? What is happening? What has happened to my husband?
See, I would be completely on her side here, because these are the kinds of things she needs to know.
Cuts his own trail now and then, but nothing better for driving a plough.
I believe she's found you a bride.
Oh, it's a prequel.
I was gonna say he has to tell her. Like, she is still the queen. He can't not tell her. I know the queen. I know George told him not to, but she needs to know.
So good of you to clean up for us.
But not only the moon, Pollux lost, Regulus lost, Pollux lost, Regulus lost, and
Dr. John Munro of the Bethlehem Hospital.
You mean Bedlam? The madhouse? Your Highness, this quack has no place among proper doctors.
The proper doctors have failed me, so
You're not
I had to
tickled.
cast a wider net.
What, this quack?
This quack.
Continue, sir.
It does seem right if the physical
Unlike my
things aren't
esteemed
working.
colleagues, my methods do not require bleeding the patient or you command an entire kingdom. You can command yourself too.
Well, how's that for quack?
You're to marry in a week.
Take that, you old farts.
I know, but that didn't look like what he was going through when we saw him like in the cellar, though.
Was something to do with the moon? Or seems to be that he's as daft as it is to say. It seems like his head's just in the clouds.
Do not gawk like a peasant.
Is he going to show us all the story
From his point
from
of
his
view.
point of view? Yeah.
So it depends on the voice. Is it going to end up being that Charlotte is one of the few people that can like bring him back?
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Smashing doublet. I think Brimsley might be my favourite character so far.
I like Brimsley.
I like Brimsley. Just going to tell him that the Queen's run off.
What have you done now, Brimsley?
Bride is missing.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise he was there.
I think it might be a split thing, you know. When he has to be kingly, that's when it comes on. When he's allowed to just be doing the things he enjoys to do, like farming and stargaze, and he's himself and he's content.
It might be like a schizophrenia kind of thing.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
wait, no, he is right.
You just slapped the king? I think he's the one that forgot himself.
Yeah.
Just a teeny weeny bit.
See, I like that even that, any other monarch could have quite easily just gone, right, well, okay, let's have him.
Behead this man.
Not even just beheaded, let's have him hung, drawn, and quartered. Put him on the rack. Or the wheel. He was just like, oh no, he's right. Fair enough.
Forgive me, Your Majesty.
Charlotte.
See, it's always the king part of it that seems to affect him.
Well, he seems like he said, doesn't he? He doesn't like all the. He doesn't like it, does he?
Come on,
To
then.
put it simply.
Just a tipple.
Will your Majesty not be returning to Buckingham House?
I have done as they asked. I married. Now I shall leave her alone, safe from me.
Oh, he was
return
doing
to
it
my
because he thought she
planet.
didn't deserve.
Because he thought she was too good for him.
Good night, Reynolds.
Oh, bless his little heart. Oh, this is also tragic because we know what happened.
Brimsley? Yes, Your Majesty.
We know where he is.
Ready the carriage.
Appeared.
Good God.
She is at the bridge. She will be here any moment.
Oh, he seems like such a nice bloke, doesn't he? Reynolds. I don't know if I knew his name before this.
Where is he?
Doctor, thank you for coming so quickly.
Of course, Your Majesty. Most impressive scientific collection. I do not know that there is another to match it in England.
Well, there are a few advantages to being monarch. One of them is you get the best stuff. Monroe, I need your help. Just for example, of course he could not risk failure, or God forbid, harming his sovereign, so he would employ only his safest, his most proven treatments, keeping the cutting edge of his methods to himself until they are proven beyond a doubt. Do you understand me now?
I may begin to.
It is not enough to cure the fits once they start. If the Queen were to ever see me like that, if she were to flee from me, God forbid, if I were to hurt her, surely there must be something that you can do.
Extreme measures.
Anything. Whatever you have to do, we have the time and privacy of my honeymoon.
I don't like this. Never trust scientists.
The problem in your case is clear. You are king. We require solitude. You are dismissed.
I don't like this.
You are used
Don't
to
trust
splendor,
creepy
Oh,
scientists.
it's
luxury,
completely just.
comfort.
We thought this was awful. What
You
Charlotte
have
was
never
going through.
known the salubrious powers of Spartan habits.
So while she was... I don't know if this is the comparison I'm supposed to be making, but while she was living relatively comfortably, just having no one to talk to,
He was putting himself through torture.
he was essentially
just to-
getting tortured. So he could be with her?
Unbound
Really?
tests
That's what he's
the
thinking.
limits of reason is the origin of your
People at
fits.
these times believed like
Yeah.
mental disorders work
This
and how they kind
is
of
the cure.
behave towards it.
Submission.
They're not going to electrocute him, are they?
I will break you.
How is this helping? I get the point you were making, right? But
Well, they
But from that terror, what result? The wolves of the German Black Forest were famous. The fiercest in the world. Not content to steal chickens and cattle, they ran off.
thought his whole thing was that
the old.
barbaric methods weren't the way to
Where are those
do it,
wolves
and then he's
now?
doing...
Only in legends, fairy tales, and here. Until you are as harmless and obedient as he is.
But he's the king, he shouldn't be obedient.
I cannot make him act.
You made him consummate the marriage in front of the Dowager Princess.
What would you have the king do?
A gesture?
A gesture.
A gesture.
What if they just murder him accidentally? Like, what?
I don't know that this stuff wouldn't make it worse.
Forgive me, Your Majesty, no reason at all.
Oh, he just cares about you, you pillock.
It is a prodigious quantity of ice they keep carting around here. And as for the food, I do not know that I would see it fed to our lowest stable hand.
Are you questioning the doctor's methods, Reynolds?
Oh, I like Reynolds more
I
now.
have my
He
own
just cares
doubts,
about you.
But I have to try. Why, she's almost as mad as I am.
Exactly.
Women like that are too dangerous for a man like me.
Come
Or
on.
maybe a perfect match.
Thank you.
Boom! Reynolds with the
Thank
goal in the
you.
back of the net.
He spends more time with her.
Alright, now I have no idea who my favourite character is.
We're going to be with
Could be
her.
Reynolds.
Brimsley.
We're going to Buckingham House.
He's an elf. I'm convinced. He belongs in Middle-earth.
He might already be in the show.
He's
you know.
ethereal. Is that the right word? Ethereal?
He just has this look.
Yeah.
Oh, he's watching it just like she watched him. Oh my god. Oh,
Just
bless her
playing
little
chess with
heart.
herself.
Don't get her a spitty ball. Does she have to keep on getting up? For God's sake.
Okay, a queen does not play on a spinny
Playing
board.
chess with herself. I think I miss her too.
Yeah, you do.
You might just
Brimsley.
want to the Queen a gesture.
A gesture?
So he was there,
Some
and you
token,
shouldn't even know he
some
was
sign
there.
that she is not really alone. That you shall be with her soon.
Something to be with her until I can be.
It was a German dog, wasn't it? That's what he said. So she didn't even realise that that's what it was. He obviously did it because he thought it would.
She would know what it was.
She would know.
Does that in turn mean that the Doctor's talking absolute
Still
nonsense?
the king, right as I know.
Well,
Cannot a king
If it-
move freely about his own palace?
If he claims that this dog is very German, and yet this German woman doesn't know
that it's German.
that it's German, can we infer then that he is absolutely full of turd? I might be very,
Strong chance.
I might be very antagonistic towards the Doctor now because
we will not be caged forever.
I'm very antagonistic now because I think I have to come to the fact that I'm in love with everyone on this show, except the Doctor.
How can you not be when he says things like that? That's the worst part about Bridgerton. Unrealistic standards.
No
Set the
man
bar
like him
too
exists. I bet even he isn't as cool as he is in this show.
I
Straight
am
to the
afraid
point.
we have forgotten our objectives, grown too lax in our routine. But no matter, we can right ourselves. I will have an ice bath prepared immediately and then straight to the chair.
She called it a deformed bunny.
Oh dear.
You know what? No ice bath. No chair today.
Oh, look at Reynolds. Reynolds loves it.
She's saying, go on, say something.
Yeah, go on.
Dare
We'll
ya.
have your head off before you could even blink.
Lamp you one. Of course he's shirtless.
It's a montage. Kate, of course, is shirtless.
It's ridiculous, really.
What?
This show.
Why?
It's too much. It's too much niceness.
Katie, you're allowed to say you fancy your king.
I think everyone knows I fancy the king.
Aye, Your Majesty.
I shall dine with my wife.
Yeah, you will.
I think it's good how even him is like, he's giving him life lessons. It's like, you'll never know unless you actually try it. And he's like, well, Reynolds has been a wingman unbeknownst.
Is he not kind of a wing woman?
He just realised the error of his ways.
It's kind of Charlotte that he was doing it.
Opened like a flower.
They're both just
Might as
wings.
well only for Her Majesty.
God, Charlotte, hurry up!
Is she going to instantly relax him when she comes?
I hope so.
Oh, you're okay. Oh my god.
Wasn't there a king called Mad King George? Is that who this is about?
Maybe.
Didn't we have a king called Mad King George?
Oh, that's nice.
Reynolds! Another goal in the back of the net!
He doesn't have to be alone.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the message. You can let people in. You can trust people.
Yeah.
Drink the whole thing if it makes you feel better.
Wine, Reynolds. I shall
Just
let the
down
kitchen
it.
know, Your Majesty. Charlotte, where are you going? Where are you going?
I do not know. Just away from you, wherever you are not.
Charlotte! Charlotte! Charlotte, if you'll just give me a chance. Charlotte, stop walking this instant! It might not make you forgive me, but it might make you hate me a little bit less.
Oh, it's been on her. It's too much to handle.
Does this mean you were coming home? To Buckingham House?
I'm coming home to Buckingham House.
Oh, he's not. This whole episode's not going to be him getting rid of the Doctor, just
Your Majesty?
for him to have
No,
Have
no,
a
Doctor, I'm
thing.
busy moving
Moving
to Buckingham House.
without consulting me.
I have instructed the men to find you quarters there. Doctor, I feel healthier than I have in years.
Yeah,
It
it's-
seems like he's just taking advantage of the situation now. Like he's not actually there to help him.
I thought I was going to like him at the beginning when he was like saying about how tourniquets on his legs and everything weren't the way to go.
You are
And
breathtaking.
and all that stuff. Do you think he has some kind of fit after this?
He has
does.
one. He has one.
He does have one, doesn't he?
Are you not well?
Was that not up to your standards? Because
You
I
saw
feel
a
that was
doctor the other day in the cellar.
it's Coronation Day. Crown must be examined on Coronation Day.
I hope she's the one to tell the doctor to just do one. Come on, Charlotte!
We shall just have days.
So he has these sort of breakdowns. But what happened in the last episode?
That wasn't the giant razor in your hand when you were waving it around like that. When I was an infant, my colic was never just colic. My colic was a disaster, an ill omen, the potential ruin of England. When I was a boy, refusal to eat my peas was the potential ruin of England. An incorrect sum at mathematics, the potential ruin of England. You have a party to attend. You were dismissed.
His Majesty King George III
Just shaved
and
himself.
Queen
That's how awesome he was. Hand never shook once when he was talking about Charlotte.
So is it just his environment and the treatment that he's
With one
had over the
evening,
years
one
is just
party, we have created more
created
change,
this like
stepped
mental
forward
disorder?
more than Britain has in the
yeah.
last century, more than I would have dreamed.
Imagine.
You can do anything, George.
With you by my side, I think I can.
Oh, that's what he meant. That's what he meant. I think. Imagine what that would do to you, growing up in that kind of world where every little thing you did was scrutinised and.
But even just shaving would be so
But
like.
he said they're even eating his peas, didn't he?
But why would she need a doctor?
Well, because obviously she is with child. She was not sure, but I am. Congratulations,
hit
Your
him.
Majesty. A joyous day for England.
He's making it worse. That doctor.
Yeah, imagine hearing it from your doctor and not from your wife. Oh! Someone chop his head off! I thought I was gonna like that doctor. The show made me like him, and then it made me hate him. Now the question is, did she go to him? I'm not sure.
But how would he know that she was pregnant? If not, we
Well,
questioned it.
Because it's not going to be hard to guess that they've been mating all over the palace, is it?
So do you think Reynolds is actually telling her all of this? I hope this isn't just a case of we know but she doesn't know. Like, she needs to know.
Yeah.
Farmer George.
You know, fair play to Reynolds as well. It seems like it really gets to him as well. I don't think he likes seeing him like that.
Didn't it say something about them being friends? Like, they grew up together or something? In the last episode, didn't Reynolds say that?
What is happening?
Brimsey couldn't even...
You couldn't even tell her, could he?
Because he doesn't know, does he? It's been... To be fair to him, he's been trying his bloody best to find out. Been quizzing Reynolds whenever he can, but...
I beg.
Brimsley, stop!
Ah, Charlotte. I did not expect you. The Danbury ball was a trial.
Has your Highness ever tried cutting English mutton with a dull knife?
I believe we may have to break fast another morning, Lady Howe.
Charlotte's not in for... She's here for blood.
But surely a coincidence? Surely a coincidence, too, that the very same day the windows were sealed shut on the upper floors and suddenly locks everywhere. Locks on the armoury, the kitchen, the
like
shed where the
childproof the
gardeners
house.
keep their shears. A coincidence, surely.
The king is merely exhausted from holding the greatest nation in the world on his shoulders. What could you know about that? the weight of that on a boy. The weight on his mother as she watches her son start to crack.
But if I must have one, if I must leave my home, my family, my language, my life, it cannot be for a man I do not know. A man I was not allowed to know. For a lie!
Your insolence truly knows no bounds. You're happy with your
no!
This is what happened with her, with him. It's just repeating itself. Sick. Of course that's going to make him want to continue the treatment because he wants to be better for her.
Your Majesty. Strap me back in.
I would rather just talk to each other.
Don't you end there, I swear to God, you stupid shit.
Oh, God, you know what? I hate these shows.
Remember when in the last episode I was like, oh, it's too nice, so what could they possibly do to us?
I hate you for making me care for these.
That was just too hard. It was so... How can they make something, right? How can they make something so devastating yet so beautiful? It was horrible. He was putting himself through literal torture because he felt like she deserved better.
Mm-hmm.
And they wonder why our standards are so high.
Some men do that. Well, they don't quite do that, but they, you know.
I don't want them to do that.
They put themselves through all kinds of torture to meet women's standards.
It's too hard. I don't even know what to say. I just felt like my heart was breaking the entire time.
I think it's always good when it shows you other perspectives like that. Took you through pretty much all the story so far from his point of view.
Yeah, so now we know
Yeah.
the crack. We know what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because we know how George is in Bridget. So we know where he ends, but he doesn't get better.
No.
So what happens? What?
But she does seem to calm him in the future as well.
Does she?
Yeah, she calms him down, doesn't she?
In season 1, when they have a meal together, he has a breakdown. He has to get dragged away because the dead daughter.
I thought I'm at the bit where he comes sort of barging in, and he has like.
In season 2, that was Edwina that calmed him down. That wasn't her.
Well, it might be that he reminded her of her.
No, it's just tragic. It's very Shakespearean. In the sense that it's a tragedy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Mad King George. I'm sure we had a monarch whose title was his name with Mad on the front of it. I'm sure I thought it was George. I'm going to Google it now. Mad King Ludwig. No.
Just like George.
Mad King George III. Which George is this? Which George is the one on the show?
I can't remember. Losing the American colonies and going mad.
Until his death in 1820.
That's the Regency era, isn't it? 1760, 1820.
They were talking about the Americas, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be him. George III. Is he George III?
I don't know if it tells you if he's the third or not. I don't know if it's told us that. Oh, how old was King George III when he married Charlotte? It is him, isn't it?
Oh dear. Well, I've got nothing else to say.
We like Reynolds.
I like all the characters except
the Doctor. We don't like
the Doctor.
I can't even talk now. We don't like the Doctor. Even his mother, the Dowager Princess. It's like in some ways I don't like her, but also I completely understand that how difficult it would be. Like, you couldn't even imagine having to go through something like that. Yeah. Especially at this time when, like you say, the ideology around insane people wasn't positive. They didn't try to help them. They tried to just, figure out what was wrong with them so they could stop it. They thought it as like a disease as opposed to something actually that they just couldn't help.
Yeah, it was viewed as incurable rather than.
They kind of just tortured them, didn't they? And just
not even that. They just locked them in a room, put them through some horrific tests and procedures, and then ultimately the majority of times with insane people it almost always ended up in like lobotomies and stuff, where you're essentially just turned into a zombie and said you were cured.
They were used as like dummies, weren't they? As like to practice on. So it would be hard knowing that if anyone found out, it would. I mean, you would just like they said, he would be stripped of.
Who would it go to? His
title? It doesn't seem like it. The fact, so it implies that his dad died very early on in his childhood. Do you get that impression? So his granddad was king.
Yeah.
His dad was lined up to be king, but probably
died before he got the throne.
Died, yeah, and then the granddad probably died, so that just left him, and she's probably had to reign in his place.
That explains why she's the Dowager Princess.
And
not the Dowager Queen.
Because his dad never actually became king.
Because she was never the queen.
And so from that really young age, it was like he is the option. He is literally it.
Groomed.
Yeah. Because if anything, that's the importance of him getting ill, him not eating properly, him not, like the consequences of him like tripping and hurting himself. Like it's so crucial that he survived because he is literally the sole heir. He is.
Also explains why they're all so desperate for him to have a child. So the line's secure.
Yeah, and why Charlotte ends up being so desperate for her children to go on to have, because it's just one, that importance is carried on.
Yeah.
It is just really tragic, and it must be that. It must be that is just that pressure has just broke her mentally. You just can't handle it.
Understandable.
Oh, it's completely understandable. But it was just we were trying to figure out if it was something like an actual mental illness. Yeah. It might just be a case of he just can't handle the pressure and the stress and stuff like that.
It's a shame. I like him. I like all the characters. I do like Dowager Princess as well. I like all the characters. At the beginning of this episode, my favourite probably would have been Brimsley, and about halfway through it was Reynolds, and then toward the end it was just everyone. I like all the characters.
Then you've got to remember Lady Danbury.
Yeah.
And Violet, young Violet, and her dad. We like all of the characters. There's only really
the Doctor.
Lord Danbury and the Doctor that we haven't liked so far.
And Violet's mother.
Yeah. And is it the Prime Minister? Is he the one that's like really just
snotty?
Yeah, he's just a bit stuck up in a bit. I understand, but still, they're kind of the only bit of characters that we have a bit of a.
Everyone else we like. I was a slow burner on Reynolds. But this episode, because it's told from George's point of view, really made me like Reynolds, because you can see he's not just a servant. He really cares about the king.
He's a friend, isn't he? And he's the only one that the king seems to confide in.
He doesn't like seeing him. He doesn't like seeing him struggle so much, but he also doesn't like seeing him torture himself to try and cure it. When the answer is right in front of his face.
That's what he was telling him though. He's saying, go to her. She he's saying like she's lonely. She needs you. Like.
It's the same with him.
Yeah, but it's just it would be difficult because he does care about him and he does want to help him, but he cares about him, wants to help him, but at the same time he's still like a servant. He's still you know what I mean. He has to like know his place, so he can't just say like you're an idiot, stop doing this, do this.
Yeah.
He has to like find the right way of trying to get him there.
God, I would be executed so quickly.
You would just be like, get a grip of yourself.
Yeah, because you know what fixes all of this? The two characters sitting down and talking to each other.
Sean, it's Bridgerton.
I know it is. That's why I'm saying this. Because every series of Bridgerton's the same. That just people need to talk to it. Look at my nails. They're gone. I don't have any nails left.
You're torturing yourself.
I know. I'm just as heroic as he is.
And don't worry, because when we finish Queen Charlotte, there's season 3.
I know. Get ready, because we're going to change our name to World of Bridget. Because that's all you're getting for the next couple of days.
I don't think anyone cares. I know I don't.
But I hope people seem to enjoy seeing us stress out.
It's the perfect mix of romance, drama, stress, and it's just everything. It's everything. You might not get it, but for me, like, I just love it.
I can tell.
And Nicole really loves it as well.
Loves it as well.
It's just, I think everyone as well, the people that read the books all agree, it's just the perfect. You like it as well. Stop denying.
Shut up, that's it. I'm going to do the outro. That was episode 4. We've got 2 episodes left. Tell us what you think down in the comments. Don't spoil anything. Try and be nice. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when we upload. We'll try to upload every day. Anything else you want to say?
I hope the internet collectively loves George as much as I do.
Probably.
You probably do. I've had to, like, essentially just stay off social media for a very long time because of Bridgerton and spoilers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know, but I hope they do because he deserves it. Good for that actor. Yeah. He's a really good actor.
Yeah, he is. Thank you for watching.